shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly. You have successfully joined the webcast. Please stand by. The meeting will begin shortly.
Thank you very much and good morning. I'm Rita Foster, Chairperson for the Harlem Community Development Corporation. And I am happy to be here. Thank you all for making it for our holiday edition of this meeting. The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Consistent with the policy of our parent corporation, Empire State Development, we welcome public comment on the items on the agenda. After each item is presented and any comments are received from the directors, we will allow members of the public to provide comments as well. All comments should be limited to 2 minutes and should only address the item that is under consideration. Please note that for the record, the public was given the opportunity to comment on today's agenda items by submitting their written comments by 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, yesterday, December 10th, 2024, to hcdcboard@esd.ny.gov. There were no comments received from the public. Before we begin with the substantive portion, ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to the items on today's agenda. And if so, I would ask you please to make an appropriate disclosure on the record at this time, and we will be sure to recuse yourself from any discussion or vote with regard to such items. Are there any recusals?
Madam Chair, I just noticed that there are some new folks here in this meeting.
Thank you so much, and I'm getting to that. Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, we do have new representatives joining us. One representing Adrian A. Harris, Superintendent of the Financial Services, New York State Financial Services, is Zain Abdel Salam. Zain, thank you for being with us. And representing Councilmember Sean Abreu is Sky Embray. Thanks for joining us and welcome. And I don't know, I guess we might as well go around the table really quickly to introduce ourselves and who we are representing. Starting with our council.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carolina Turner Beverly. I am Senior Counsel for Empire State Development Corporation and also have the honor and privilege of being designated counsel for the Harlem Community Development Corporation.
Thanks.
Good morning. I'm Laura Blackman. I'm the Director of Housing for the HCR, and I'm representing Ruth and Ms.
Thank you.
Molly Drakeford, I'm the board of directors and
Nice.
Hi, I'm Maribel Garces, and I am a Harlem resident. I'm a community director.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Assemblymember Gibbs's office. Although today I'm technically not on.
We're getting the sick.
Yeah.
Keith Wright, representing Councilmember Yusef Salam.
Hi, good morning and happy holidays, everyone. My name is Terrell Brock, and I'm representing Senator Jose M. Serrano.
Good morning, everyone. Elsie Encarnacion, representing Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala.
Yes.
Again, everyone, I'm Scott Embry, representing Councilman Sean Abreu.
Hi, again, Zain Abdesalam, and I'm representing Adrian.
good morning, everyone. I'm on May, Chief of Staff of the State Assembly.
Morning, Keisha Sutton James, Deputy Manhattan Borough President, representing Borough President Mark Levine.
Good morning and happy holidays as well. Shauna Marks, Director for Government and Community Affairs, representing U.S. Congressmember Adriano Estrella.
Morning, Ernestine Bell Temple, representing Assemblyman Al Taylor.
Curtis Archer, Harlem Community Development Corporation.
Hi, everybody. Delma Palma, Vice President of Design and Construction at Empire State Development.
Anna Peisier, Senior Vice President, Community Relations at Empire State Development.
Morning, everyone. Pedro Hernandez. I'm the Senior Manager for the HUD Approved Housing Counseling Program at Harlem CDC.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Victoria Gordon. I'm the Director of Organization at Harlem CDC.
Rose Jeffrey, Corporate Secretary, Harlem CDC. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you. All right, first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of the Board of Directors meeting from March 22nd, 2024. Yes, we all have fabulous memories. So I will wait to entertain a motion. Yes.
So
Oh, so you, thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes, I was going to say I needed a motion, but thank you for reading my mind. Yes. Second, it has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? All right. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you very much. All right. Now, Miss Victoria Gordon will now present the request to enter into a contract with the New York Heating Corporation and the amount not to exceed $305,854,000. Victoria, the fabulous.
Thank you. If you don't mind, I will sit. I will
No, but please speak it louder so that everything you can hear.
Okay. All right, so the Revitalization Assistance Program is a nationwide program funded by the U.S. Department of Energy and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Its mission is to reduce heating and cooling costs for low-income families by improving the energy efficiency of their homes and ensuring their health and safety. Harlem CDC has participated in this program since its inception more than 40 years ago. The WAP program provides assistance to single and multifamily building owners with tenants that meet certain income eligibility requirements. The services provided are based on energy audits of project sites, which are conducted by WAP staff to determine specific needs and projected energy savings. The property owners are required to make investments towards the cost of improvements unless they can prove a financial hardship. WAP is administered in New York State by the New York State Homes and Community Renewal, and Harlem CDC's WAP is a sub-grantee to HCR and facilitates the program within its catchment area. In 2021, President Biden signed the bilateral infrastructure law bill, and Harlem Community Development Corporation was allocated $1,543,828 to weatherize 277 units in our catchment area in Harlem. Harlem CDC subcontracts the actual work required to fulfill our obligation to provide improvements funded by the program. The property at 50 West 131st Street was acquired by owner Abbey Towers Apartments LP in 1989, and the building meets the reservation income guidelines. An energy audit was completed and an initial work scope was reviewed with the owners. Harlem CDC is seeking to enter into a subcontract with New York Heating Corp to replace the heating system for the 100 residential units. The estimated cost of the scope of work for the heating system replacement is $192,354, plus the chimney work of $113,500 for a total project cost of $305,854. Build funds will be used to cover 70% of the total project cost, and the owners will be required to pay a minimum of 30%. Based on the foregoing, it is recommended that the directors approve HCDC's Revitalization Assistance Program request to enter into a contract with New York Heating Corp as stipulated in the foregoing materials.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon. Is there any discussion?
Just a clarification, she said 100 units, 100 units?
100
units.
Thank you.
And I just had a question. And the work, I was looking at the other agenda item, I apologize, where it discusses the list of vendors. Would these be would the vendors in the other agenda item be the vendors that would do this work?
This vendor is already on the list that was approved.
I see.
Last year.
I see, I get it, I'm sorry. And this vendor is or is not an MWB?
It's not an MWB.
Right. Okay.
The work will begin once the approval here. They're already ready because we were already ready until the line became an issue. So we're already ready. So probably within the next week or so, once we have the approval. End date, well, technically we have to finish all the work by the March of 2025. But we anticipate that it might take about 4 weeks. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Any other questions?
I have a broader question that I will hold for towards the, I guess, the end of the next agenda item about the MWD and weatherization.
Oh, thank you. All right, may I have a motion to approve this item? Thank you, Holly. May I have a second? Thank you, Janine. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Any recusals? All right, that passes. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you.
Now, Ms. Gordon will present the request for approval of the pre-qualified weatherization contractors vendors list.
Thank you. So I just read the background about WAP. Do I have to read that again?
I think we remember that.
Okay. So as I said previously, each year WAP implements several measures, which include boiler replacement, window replacement, LED lighting, air sealing, and installation of energy efficient appliances. The size, timing, and complexity of these projects typically requires HCDC's WAP staff to solicit firms familiar with weatherization to perform various measures on the contracted projects for each programming year. To permit HCDC's weatherization program to respond to the needs of these projects expeditiously while having available the benefits of a broad solicitation of weatherization contractors and or vendors, HCDC solicited pre-qualified weatherization contractors to perform weatherization work and created the pre-qualified subcontractor list, which was approved by this board on July 21st, 2023. Since there were no contractors on the pre-approved list to perform some of the required weatherization measures, the weatherization unit was allowed to reopen the solicitation for additional contractors on August 2nd, 2024. On August 2nd, 2024, ESD staff placed an ad in the New York State Contract Reporter requesting proposals from qualified contractors and vendors who wish to be included on the HCDC's Weatherization Assistance Program's pre-qualified bidders list for the next 3 years to provide heating system replacement, upgrades, window replacement, ventilation, LED lighting, air sealing, and energy efficient appliances. A total of 7 firms responded to the solicitation. Responses were then evaluated to determine if each firm should be pre-qualified based on the following criteria: previous relevant weatherization firm experience and qualifications and experience of the staff. Based on this review, staff recommended the approval of all 7 firms listed on the attachment A to your materials as pre-qualified weatherization assistance program contractors or vendors. HCDC staff is recommending that the attached pre-qualified list of contractors and vendors remain in effect until March 31st, 2026. Staff therefore recommends that the board approve the Harlem CDC's weatherization pre-qualified bidders list of approved firms included in attachment A to these materials as qualified to submit proposals on specific weatherization measures and in the discretion of the president or his or her designee, such related areas of expertise as she or he may deem appropriate and advisable in connection with any project. And the attachments are on your sheet.
Attachment A and B.
Attachment A.
All right, thank you. Is there any discussion or questions?
I have a question. Just so I'm clear, B is the list that was pre-approved before. There were certain items or certain actions or items that they were not qualified to do. And so we authorized to re-up. And then the new list A is the new list. So between the A and B, these companies will be used to do weatherization through, I forgot what the date was. March 2026. 26. That's correct. Okay. And then none of the new ones are MWBE. None of the new 7 are MWBE or.
Actually, 2 are in the process of becoming MWBEs.
One of them I definitely know well because they contacted me and I told them about it. It's Jetway.
And are any of them Jetway Harlem based? Are any of them in our catchment? Like any of them local?
None of them are local. They were either from out of a particular catchment area in Lower Manhattan, somewhere in the Bronx, Brooklyn, but we don't have any that's in actually the Harlem community.
And just because we had this conversation in terms of trying to understand the inequity within the inequity, they call it disparity within disparity. That's what the city's chief diversity officer says, Michael Garner. Can I ask what is the qualification, the Jetway, that MWBE, are they women owned? Are they minority? Is it Black, brown, Asian? Black is
I am
Latino,
not
Asian, we know?
quite sure because I haven't met the actual vendor.
So you know what the makeup of the MWBEs are? Are they of Jetway? Is it women owned, black and brown?
Black owned. A woman is the lead who's been actually initiating all the contact by name of Sylvia Carentha.
Okay. So thank you.
Mhm.
So my question is like, I guess is around what we're doing to, and this is the same discussion we had in March, the minutes that we just approved around like how are we enabling more MWBEs? So it seems, despite what's happening at the federal level, it seems that this is a program that hopefully will continue going for the foreseeable future. I pray, who knows, but.
What have you been reading?
Well, we'll see, I know. But if this is something that we foresee will be going for the foreseeable future, how are we had this discussion, it's very hard to get people to solicit people to apply for their MWB certification. We saw in the minutes that several people, including myself, said we want to be helpful in trying to get this out. I said I would be happy to reach out to HPD and see if they had vendors that could potentially, apply. And I didn't recall getting any outreach from this office to actually follow up on that. And to me, I feel like if we are going to be serious about this office is not doing development work anymore. We're basically doing weatherization and a couple of other things. So if that's what we're doing and we can focus on like the MWBE work, then let's follow up and get the let's develop programs to actually try to incubate the MWBEs so that we can actually find, somebody who can qualify, who's based in this district, who, can do this work. So it's a question and a comment. I don't recall ever having gotten any follow-up from that meeting in March. Somebody tell me if I missed that. To me, it seems like that we should have, gotten the solicitation so we could send it out to, because that's what we as board members said we wanted to do.
Can I respond before you stop this? I think you're 100% right. And I've had my head buried in the news, for, the past couple of months. And it has occurred to me that the community is going to have to take care of the community, right? And so here we are, Harlem Community Development Corporation, and we are a pretty powerful board. Like if you look at the people that we represent and the contacts that we have and the networks that we have, I'm not sure that we need to put all of the onus, some of it, of course, on this office. But I think that it would be faster, and maybe more effective if we were to call up Michael Gardner, or if you, call up, HPD or call Keith Wright,
No, I was raising my hand.
Right. Okay. One second. I'm just going off of the spirit of, we're going to be taking care of each other. We're going to be taking care of this community ourselves. Things that we can do around this table, I think we should be doing. That said, I would love to call and collaborate with this office to do whatever it is that.
We would welcome, I would welcome that, but going back to the last board meeting in which we discussed this, when we had to approve the first list, I was under the impression that the board would reach out and get names and give us these names so that we could send the solicitation to them. So having not gotten that, and I remember once the solicitation goes out from the procurement department at ESD, we can't get in touch with the potential respondent, people that are responding. What we did is we took every vendor, even a list of MWBEs that we would, because we certify MWBEs in this office. So we got a whole list of them. And the contractors that we've had from the beginning of the program, we had Black owned and we did an email, sent out that email specifically to these vendors twice a week from August 2nd, the week before August 2nd, to when it closed on August 31st. Twice a week. MWBs was like 15 MWBs for them to respond, and we got 7 responses, and not one of them was an MWB. I personally spoke to a young lady that has an electrical company, and the last thing we went to at Columbia, and I told her this was coming up. I said, look for it, give me an email. I sent out the email to her. I was surprised because we don't know who responds until after the program closes. Then procurement gives us the list of people that respond, and I said, where is this person? Where is this person? Where is this person? That's what we got.
So that might be where we can help.
Right. And then I went back to call. I called them all and said, what happened? Okay. And they said, oh, it was a little complex. I couldn't understand it. I didn't want to go through it. It was just hurting my head. I didn't want to be bothered. I thought I'd get back to it. And that's it.
Thank you. Keith.
Let me just say, I don't think that the onus should be put on us as this board. Yes, we can do what we have to do. But the larger question, and Victoria, I realize you've worked very hard in trying to do your job, but the onus should not be on us. Let us not forget that the group, the agency that's in charge of certifying MWBEs is our parent corporation for the whole state of New York. You cannot get an MWBE certification unless you go through ESDC. ESDC would seem like a natural place to start in order to find some good MWBEs that can be presented to this board.
Thank you for that clarification. However, my only meaning with that was that we know people in our communities who might qualify for this. They might not know about this.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
I'm just talking about being connectors.
I agree. Yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely.
All right. Holly and then Keisha.
One of the problems is there's a lot of contractors involved. As I was just mentioning, his Christmas party. He's a developer. They'll be at his Christmas party this week, I think. the fact is that even if you speak to them, they really don't feel an interest in. And some of them do have the financials that they can, handle all the paperwork and do it. But they just don't have that feeling to get involved.
Right.
And that's really the root of that in this area. So if there's some way that could happen, I mean, they know that they can get jobs. They don't know if it's the type of jobs they want, but they can get jobs. There's a lot of opportunity coming here with MTA and the Second Avenue subway, and God knows how much work needs to be done on the east behind that with all the buildings. But the fact is, they don't really feel that they need to do this or excited about doing it.
Correct, because I've heard that they don't feel, some of them don't feel like it's even worth all of the people for what they get in return.
That's true.
That's Keisha.
So I was gonna say, that is it not okay, once the solicitation has been made, to email the board and ask that we push it out to whomever? Is that not?
No, that is possible. We can definitely send the actual, but not the solicitation, the email that says that the solicitation is out.
Yes.
Because
right.
The solicitation is on the state website.
Right, it's public.
That's right. Yes, it's public.
So so to me, that like on the boards that I've sat on, that's what my experience has been, is that in order to activate the board, the staff says, board, this is how you can be helpful, share this with your networks. And, different people will do it to different degrees, and that's okay and acceptable. If there are people who will, have no contacts that can be helpful on a particular agenda item, then they are not helpful. But if there are people who are, then they can be. So that's my first thought. And my second thought, so I for things that we discuss here in terms of, and, I frankly think this could be happening for many agenda items that we discuss and we say, for example, are there not-for-profits that could potentially go into use the office space at the in the Victoria? That's something that we talk about, but we can put together, like staff can put together an email that says, reminder, this is what you guys said you were interested in. Please send us names and contact information so we can, do that. I just pulled that try to pull that from out of the recesses of what we have discussed at this table. So that's one. And then two, my other thought is that there's something that's making this attractive to everybody else. They're, the other 7 people, the other non-MWBE, certified veterans vendor list. So why is it attractive, and why is it worth the time, energy, and money for some people and not us? That's to me a question that we should be asking. And how do we answer that? And to me, my first thought in terms of answering that is, okay, if we can't find anybody who is willing to do this, let's incubate a company or two to put them on the track to do this. Maybe Watson's Plumbing is already doing similar work and already certified. And I'm sure there are other, I would just happen to be with them this weekend and that's why they're at the top of my mind. But aren't there other businesses in our community that are doing ancillary work that we could essentially incubate to say, hey, there are contracts out there, that you can get if you start doing this work as well. Is that not something that, or would that be improper?
Watson, weren't they not on our list? Never. And
I don't know if they're doing weatherization. They're plumbing, so I'm
right. Which is also a part because we have boiler installations and so forth. But I'm surprised. But I know he has known about some of the bids that have come through, but he's just what chose it.
Like I said, before we had a list and we were able to kind of go out and have people respond, people would come to the bid and they would walk around and they would say yes, and we would call, especially MWBs, we would call them days before the bid was due to make sure, not to influence anything, just say, we hope you're going to bid because you came out to the pre-bid conference. And the day would come, and we would get 5 bids, and there would be none of these, none of these. I don't know if they're intimidated because some contractors can do that. They walk around like they know everything, and then the ones that are a little, not sure, or the first time they're stepping into something, they may get a little intimidated. And I've been at big conferences where I had to tell contractors, okay, just quiet, take it easy, be running the bid, not you. Because they take over, and so sometimes people get intimidated, but we try to encourage the MWBs. Please respond. I have a goal. I need them to respond. And they don't give me an answer. They don't say, but this is the reason why, so that I can, like you say, get them to where they need the help. Because AEA, our technical advisor, is there to help any MWB contractor that wants to get, into the plumbing side of it. I don't know what else.
And just very quickly, to Keisha's point about outstanding requests, you also had requested that Jason Clark come in and speak broadly about MWBEs writ large as an agency. He's on paternity leave, congratulations to him, but he knows the request is here.
Yes.
And that is definitely a 25 commitment of ours to bring him in.
Thank you.
I know, congratulations.
Thank you so much. All right, yes, Holly.
I think Keith's correct in the fact that this is a statewide problem. And perhaps maybe their outreach, whatever they do, should get more involved with this because this agency, as I said, there's plenty of contractors. I can tell you we can find them. But the fact is that they talk, in fact, I gave them a few years ago out of pocket. But they come, they listen, and then they go home.
And I would encourage also a conversation with Michael Garner, who of course is the city representative, but in terms of what successes that they've experienced in what he's doing now, because he comes from MTA, school construction, and now of course the city, and best practices.
I was just about to say that. Oh. And no, literally, I was just about to say that we need to know that as a board, what are his best practices? You as the president need to know that. So I don't know what the mechanism is, but I whether you want to reach directly out and ask, is there a document? Do you have, what are your best practices? How do we ensure that we are doing this the way that you've done it so successfully? I'm happy to ask him, but I'm not the MWBE person, and I would not know the intricacies of the process in the way, but maybe if you and Victoria sat with him and really did a download and debrief to get that from him, that perhaps would help this board's practice in that area.
Agreed, and he has a good understanding of both the state and the city.
Absolutely.
So that would be fantastic. Okay. This has been a great discussion, you guys, but we need to vote because some people need to leave. So is there anything burning on this issue? Any other questions? Okay, I will have a motion, please, to approve this item. Thank you, Holly. May I have a second? Second. Thank you very much. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. That passes. And our last, voting item, right? Mr. Pedro Hernandez will present the next item on the agenda, a request for authorization to offer housing counseling program services in compliance with U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development requirements. Pedro.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I do have a one pager, but pretty much is summed up here. In terms of sure.
Or you could stand.
Sure.
Oh, you don't want to turn around?
Young legs. Down and move it up. All right. So, for those of you that do not know me, some of you do. My name is Pedro Hernandez. I am the senior manager of the HUD Approved Housing Counseling Program here at Harlem CDC.
Oh, okay. One second.
Yes.
In terms of what's being passed out, that was not publicly
Oh, correct.
Right, let's.
Give it back.
Give it back. Gotcha.
Thank
You're
you so
right. It's very close to this, but I'll,
No worries. It looks very nice though.
you'll get it in an email.
You formatted it, I love
Yeah.
it. Okay.
No worries.
Gotcha.
It's, they're cousins. Thank you. All right, so I am the senior manager for the HUD-approved housing counseling program here at Harlem CDC. A little background on the program. Well, Harlem CDC's mission is to assist the communities of El Barrio, East Harlem, Central Harlem, West Harlem, and Washington Heights to strengthen and improve the local socioeconomics, cultural, and small business development, housing conditions, tourism, and other strategic initiatives that attract human and capital investment. HCDC provides information, technical, and financial assistance and skills training to community-based organizations and individuals seeking to create independent projects and initiatives in which support further investment in Upper Manhattan neighborhoods. Through various public and private partnerships, it engages in the formulation of strategy, participates in project development from the conception through completion, strengthens workforce development, and holds various workshops and seminars with area home mortgage lenders focusing on credit, loan products, and money management. HCDC has provided housing counseling services to the public since 2004. Counselors have worked to inform and guide clients on the home buying process and fair housing rights, as well as general financial literacy principles when it comes to budgeting, reducing consumer debt, establishing and building credit, and savings. HCDC Homebuyer Counseling Program offers services in a one-on-one setting and in group settings. The one-on-one sessions are tailored to the specific concerns and circumstances of the client. These sessions are by appointment and in private, closed door, and accessible environments. Group sessions are generally offered in a three-part series of workshops that focuses on fair housing and equal opportunity, financial capabilities, understanding credit and debt, the mortgage loan approval process, and the types of mortgage loans, down payment and closing cost assistance programs as well. Back here. All right. Program workshop descriptions. When it comes to money management, it provides general introduction to a range of topics that include tracking income and expenses, budgeting, setting financial goals, basic banking, using online bill pay, as well as an overview of fair housing laws. Understanding credit, provide an overview of the role of credit, that credit plays in determining mortgage eligibility and interest rates, and focuses on the elements of credit scores, establishing and maintaining credit, repairing credit, and how to use credit wisely. The mortgage loan approval process provides an overview of how a mortgage loan is underwritten, how mortgage eligibility is determined, the documentation needed to apply for a mortgage, and the terms and concepts that are important for applicants to understand. Types of mortgage loans, down payment, and closing cost assistance programs. Provides an overview of the range of mortgage products available. For example, Fannie Mae, FHA, VA, and Sonny Mae. These differences, the differences among and characteristics of these loan products, as well as down payment and closing cost assistance programs available through public sector sources, lenders, employers, and community-based organizations, and others. These sessions demystify the mortgage application process and help individuals understand the many steps one must take to become a homeowner and responsibility that comes with this. The commitment. The overall department goal is to create ongoing partnerships that provide opportunities. Yeah, which one do you want me to say?
Do you understand the broad concept of home buyer counseling?
Yeah.
Okay, so now.
Am I done?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
You have
Thank you very
everything
much.
Well done.
And let me just say, like, while I'm proud of literally all staff at Harlem CDC, Particularly also, I'm proud of him in terms of knowing all of the programs available for closing cost assistance, that's one, but also doing a first-time homebuyer counselor program initiative all in Spanish. So thank you. First time, yes.
English too.
Sorry. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Are there any questions or discussion on this item?
Oh, by the way, when I say the U.S., do you have to want to purchase a home in New York City or New York State? No. Anywhere in the continental United States, including Puerto Rico.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, Holly.
That's how you get it started. You have that down payment. And generally around here, it'd be at least 100,000 and better. What kind of assistance or do you offer this, people that are looking to buy a home and they don't have $150,000 to put down? After that, everything else falls with good credit. But that's a big nut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for most mortgage programs, and affordable mortgages, you're usually good with a 3% down payment. There are several programs that assist, one of them being Solimay, which is the mortgage from New York State, facilitated by many different lenders, which provides another 3% on top of that towards down payment and closing. And then if you're purchasing in the 5 boroughs, HPD also has a program that goes up to 100,000. They'll give you 20% of the purchase price. So there's many different programs out there, depending on the municipality that you're purchasing in, and the certification that we provide through our education and counseling allows for a majority of those to use that certificate to be able to obtain the funds for purchase.
Is that a grant? Or is it a loan?
Sure. So most grants, right? I did an air quote there. They come in the form of a loan that has 0 interest and 0 monthly payment requirements. And so a requirement that most of these programs have is that this is considered your primary residence for a number of years. Now, depending on the program, dollar amount that you get, it could be 10 years, it could be 3 years, it could be 15 years. But it depends, and this goes for 1 through 4 family homes for the most part. So, it's a way to purchase a home and then, get somebody else to cover your mortgage.
So basically, you have 0 interest or a loan.
Yes.
So you have to pay that back also.
Not if you, it's forgiven after the number of years based on the requirement for the program. So it becomes a grant.
HTDC had been doing similar programs for a while before.
Yes.
So I'm is this an authorization for the next, period of time, I'm kind of curious. I'm curious about what kind of the action that we're doing.
So the answer to that is we have been doing this since 2004, right? March 2004 to be exact, and have been approved by HUD. In 2021. Well, by 2021, there was something called the final rule, which was supposed to be done by December 2020, which required that HUD-approved housing counseling agencies to be compliant with HUD. They need to have a HUD-certified housing counselor, right? Because of COVID, they pushed that to August 2021. I came on board during that time, so we were good and we were compliant. When they completed an audit or a review of our organization in March 2021, they seem to have forgotten the resolution. They came back to me, I'm going to say September, right? Asking for this resolution to be in writing from them.
Got it. Okay. So then final question, I think.
Sure.
So given what we're doing, like what we've been doing as a board, where are our the people who you are assisting, where are they actually buying? I'm curious, just
Yes.
because it's so expensive right here.
It's very expensive. So if they are buying in the city, it is mostly co-ops because of the affordability, right? Usually when they are getting, let's say, a single family or multifamily, they're co-buying, right? Which it's a very good thing because then it also allows them to take the most advantage of the down payment and closing cost assistance programs. I do want to thank you for attending one of our big workshops.
It was phenomenal. That was the last thing I was going to say.
Thank you. And if not, Tri-State, right? So the certification that we have, which is a HUD certification for education, it's something that you can use federally, but most people, they purchase in the Tri-State because when you're getting a mortgage, anything that is a little bit over 2 hours out in terms of driving from your job, unless you work remote, the bank considers it an investment property. So as a primary home, we're talking Tri-State. So Jersey, Connecticut, upstate.
So I don't think we've gotten it. Forgive me if I've forgotten it, but I would love maybe if for the next meeting we can, or I don't know how long it takes to put it together, but some reporting on, on that, like what you've done, how many people you've counseled.
Sure.
Yeah,
I have some numbers for this year. I could rattle off.
Just for
Yeah.
housing, just for the housing.
Yeah, the housing council.
Housing counseling.
So this year we counseled 231 for the, November through October, right? Because that's the fiscal year, right? 231 new clients. February's workshop did 75 attendees. April, 149. August, 109. And October, 148. The one that we did in person in June, that one had a little bit over 400. So in and out, but.
And then, so thank you for that. That's really helpful. I'd love to have it still on paper because I
Yes,
can't.
I'll get that. to you.
But also then, how many of those people have actually gone on to buy
Correct.
properties, what kinds of properties, where, that is the kind of information that I'd really love to understand just about
Sure.
kind of the impact of the work.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Definitely.
That number 400 was the Home Buying Expo that we did in conjunction, of course, with the Harlem Real Estate Board and also HCCI. That will be occurring again. That was at the forum.
I know, I was there, it was amazing.
Oh, that's right. But with, next year, it's going to be at the Great Hall at CCNY.
Keep us posted about that. We'll get that as a board so we can all be.
I try to push out also everything to you guys.
Yeah.
Because I know that, again, we have different populations that we touch, and the more people that know that there's the biggest hurdle being the down payment. There's free money out here. Most people that right now are paying rent probably can't afford to pay that in a mortgage, right? But they're paying it anyway. But I'll definitely get you those numbers. Reporting for this year is due by the end of December, so I'll have the numbers anyways. We also have demographic breakdowns.
Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, may I have a motion to approve this item?
So,
thank you, Keisha. May I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Anthony. All in favor? Any opposed? And that passes. Thank you all for coming. Please make sure you sign the attendance list if you haven't done so already, and do have a wonderful holiday season. Yes. Oh, yes, there are sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, please, take them all.
Take for lunch.
Take it all.